Media's Mining Weekly is speaking to Arnie Fransen, the co-CEO and co-founder of the Pallinghurst Group, which has just made a major, first-of-a-kind appointment. Arnie, we're not very familiar yet with the title Chief ESG Officer.
It's part of the new world. ESG is not only a nice to have any longer. It is something that we have always adhered to at Pallinghurst and our investment companies. But instead of it being on page 40 in the annual report, this is now page 1 stuff. This is the key thing, because when people put money to work, they want to make sure that it's put to work with someone that is actually operating in a way that you would want your money to operate within. So ESG is absolutely critical. We came up with the title, and Lyle Bethlehem is the world's first Chief ESG Officer.
And how high is your new Chief ESG Officer, Lyle Bethlehem, expected to lift the bar at Sedibelo's Platinum Mines?
She is reporting only on ESG and renewable and sustainable matters. She thinks of nothing else. It is about making that available and making sure that we adhere to that. And she is sitting at the adults table, at the head of the table. And what she is preaching is the thing that we as a team will adhere to.
What are the chances of becoming completely independent at Pallinghurst Platinum Mines of the national electricity grid?
It is, Martin, you hit it as a matador again. That is the single largest objective. Not that we don't have a good relationship with Eskom. We have a very good relationship with them, and we have had so for more than 10 years. But I think it is prudent that if you are a big user of electricity, that you do what you can do to ensure that you don't tap more from the net. There are a lot of usage from other people. And I've said to my team that this is one of the key parameters that I will measure success on. If we can have a zero carbon footprint mine that is delivering material and is not dependent on Eskom burning coal, but that we can actually produce an ounce of green platinum, where through the kelp process and where through our renewable energy push, we can deliver that to the end user without a carbon footprint.
And do you think green platinum group metals have a chance of ever attracting a price premium?
In my world, absolutely, Martin, it should have a premium. In the real world, I kind of believe there's going to be a buffet, okay? And this is going to be the plate that is going to be empty first, okay? So if you have your green platinum, I'm sure that you will get blue chip customers that actually really like it because it's green. Maybe we can then enter into long-term offtake agreements that are on more favorable terms than otherwise. But sometimes it's also about doing the right thing. This is, in my mind, doing the right thing. And if we want to give fuel cells and green hydrogen a chance of being in the race for the decarbonization of the Western and Eastern world, then I think it is absolutely crucial that what we can deliver is a green ounce of metal. Because if it's dirty platinum, it kind of defies the purpose in trying to decarbonize the world if you use a lot of carbon in producing it.
And what is the green advantage, if I can put it that way, of being able to control the entire value chain from mining through to refined metal and the end product? It's almost like you're not just a miner, you're providing a solution.
That's right. Ultimately, it's nothing different than if you are one of the fine winemakers in the Western Cape. You control your vineyard. You control your cellar. You control your selling of the final bottle. If you're buying a lovely bottle of fine red wine from the Western Cape, you know all the way back. You know, for the good ones, you know exactly where the grapes are from. You know how they have been maintained on the vines have been pruned and all of the things. You have that entire story. And that is important when you and I go and buy our premium bottle of wine. It's going to be the same with materials, Martin. It's just a question of time. When we are going to sell to a Tesla or a Volkswagen or a Toyota who would want to buy our PGM ounces, they will come and they will not only look at the platinum we are producing, because that's a generic product, but they want to know, where is it mined? What is the safety in the mine? What is the carbon footprint of that? They want us to be able to show them that entire chain and that blockchain of being able to demonstrate that we are in control of each link of that chain. And that is what we are able to do at Sedibelo. And that's what really excites me.
And will the main focus be on platinum, palladium, and rhodium? Are those the big three, or do you go much further?
I think we can go much further, Martin. Whatever we are going to produce out of our mine of PGMs and gold, we can produce that with that kind of stamp on it. And nowadays, the auditors of such statements are becoming much more stringent and something that you can rely on. So we are already talking to people that can certify that this is how we can produce our ounces. So if you think about it, it's not only that we can get off the grid. It's not only that no carbon will have been used to produce our PGM ounces, but it's actually that we can bring all of that in and further the decarbonization of the world. And that is very important. And that gives, in my mind, fuel cells an extra boost. Because if you can deliver that, and if we can deliver that out of South Africa, we again are making sure that we become relevant in the discussion going forward about decarbonization.
And what about the training of the people? Are people going to be able to cope with this new way of doing things and the new technology?
Listen, we are blessed with a lot of very skilled workers in South Africa, and we have some of the finest universities that are producing very smart individuals. I can tell you, when I go out to the Sedibelo mine and I look at our 1,600 employees, I'm very proud. These are very well educated, forward-looking youngsters, and some of the old guards, which I guess I am part of now as well, are also looking at doing the right thing. And to take that experience, because we have a mining experience in South Africa, and we should be very proud of that. But take those decades of experience and take that up and let the new commerce, the new ideas spring from that knowledge base. That's very important. And as we see how transferring of knowledge is taking place and how new ideas are festering in South Africa, I'm very excited about the future.
And people are looking at 2050, about zero carbon talk 2050, but it seems that the steps you're taking could bring you to that position far sooner than 2050.
I would want to get there much, much faster than that, Martin. I will refrain to telling you what my target is to my management team. But it is if you take this zero away from 50, then you get more to a realistic amount of time. I want to do this in 5 years.
Fantastic. And that first green PGM, when are we likely to be able to actually see that come out?
Well, we will build the Kell plant. Lyle is very busy on formulating our renewable energy strategy. To no surprise, solar is going to play a very big role in that. It's something that we have a lot of experience with in South Africa. Lyle herself have been involved up in Uppington for some of those very big projects that are built up there. You have heard from many of our fellow miners that their commitment to solar is big as well. But we also got some other ideas to complement that. But I think it is important that it's easy to sit down and blame Eskom because that's kind of like an easy target. But I kind of feel that we all have a responsibility to say, what could we do to change this? And maybe the answer is that maybe we shouldn't tap into the grid if we can avoid it. Maybe we should find an alternative source of electricity. And we are now allowed to do that in South Africa. And I think that the commitment we have at Sedibelo to take renewables absolutely seriously with Lyle's appointment, it should be a sign that we are willing to do our part too.
And have you got the land available for, say, solar?
Yes, we can build that next to the mine, absolutely.
And that was Creamer Media's Mining Weekly, speaking to Arnie Fransen, the co-CEO and co-founder of the Pellinghurst Group.